Hi, I'm Dan Elder with Kidasa Software Support. Welcome to this video about troubleshooting the refresh process in Milestones Professional. If you've tried to refresh your file from Project or Primavera and are noticing some issues, this is a good video for you. What I've got here is a file that I imported from Microsoft Project, but most of these will apply to Project and Primavera imports. The first thing we can do is click on a symbol, and in the Selection tab, you'll notice that there's a Symbol Links subtab. And on this Symbol Links subtab, you'll see that there's an automation tag box. Now this is how your symbol is linked back to the Project or Primavera file. The first two parts of the automation tag are required for symbols. The first part is the ID, which would be unique ID if it was imported from Project, or activity ID from Primavera. The second part is the date field. So in this case, this symbol represents the start date of unique ID 35. If your tag is blank, verify that you are not selecting a status symbol. Status symbols set the % complete for the task row, and in the bottom left you should see an S in brackets next to the date of the symbol. So if I select this invisible symbol right here, you can see that S in brackets down there in the status bar. If that's the case, you can press left or right on your keyboard to select different symbols in the same row. Sometimes symbols are on the same date, like if it's 100% complete or 0% complete, the status symbol would be on the same day as the start or finish symbol. Also, we can see how the columns are linked to fields in Project. First, we can click on the column heading, and we can see what field the column is linked to. So this column is linked to the name field from Project. Then we can click on each cell by clicking twice on a row, and we can see that this cell is linked to unique ID 5, this is unique ID 9, unique ID 8, and unique ID 35. The next step after verifying your symbols and columns are tagged correctly is to make sure those IDs exist in the Project or Primavera file you're refreshing from. You can do this by manually looking for the task in whatever file you're refreshing from and seeing the date of that task and making sure it matches up in the Milestones Professional schedule. If your dates don't match up in Primavera, you'll need to re-export your XML file, which is covered in our help topics. The next thing to check is whether you have a nickname file list set up. If you do, then Milestones Professional will use that list to refresh from, and all of your symbols will need to also be tagged with a nickname. If that's the case, we have a video about refreshing from multiple MS Project files that you should check out. You can go to the Connections tab, refresh previously imported project, and create, edit, refresh file list to see if you have a file list set up. It makes you save your schedule, and you can see I don't currently have any files on the refresh file list, so I don't need to worry about that. But if you had the wrong file here, then it would mess up your refresh, and you would be refreshing from the wrong file. So keep that in mind. Now we'll start the refresh process and show you a few things you'll need to look at during that process. If you go to the Connections tab, refresh previously imported project, and then I'm going to choose refresh from MPP since I'm using an MPP file. It makes you save your schedule. And then I can choose this MPP file that I'm using. First, you'll need to make sure you have unique ID chosen here if you imported from Project, or text1 if you imported from Primavera. Other fields can be used sometimes, but these are the most common. If you want to refresh information inside columns, make sure Refresh Tagged Columns is checked. The last suggestion is to make sure Refresh Only Tasks Visible in Project is unchecked. If it's checked, then any tasks that are hidden or even collapsed down in Project will not be refreshed. Note that this option is only for the Project refresh, not Primavera. And that was it for this troubleshooting video in Milestones Professional. Be sure to visit our website at kidasa.com and email support@kidasa.com with any questions. Have a nice day.